The humid air hangs heavy, thick with the stench of fear and despair. The night is alive with the sounds of the forest, but there is an underlying tension, a sense of unease that permeates the atmosphere. The trees, tall and imposing, seem to close in, their branches like skeletal fingers reaching out to ensnare the unwary. The mist swirls around, obscuring vision and adding to the sense of foreboding. It is a place where secrets are kept and where the darkness hides more than just the absence of light. A low growl rumbles from the shadows, a sound that sends a shiver down the spine. It is a sound that speaks of fear, of desperation, of a creature pushed to the brink. The growl is not just a warning, but a cry for help, a plea for mercy in a world that has shown none. This is not the sound of a predator stalking its prey. It is the sound of a soul in torment, a being that knows its fate and is powerless to change it. The eyes of the dog, wide and filled with terror, tell a story of suffering and pain, of a life lived in fear and uncertainty. This is the sound of prey, knowing its time is running out. The cage is small, confining, a prison that offers no escape. The dog cowers, its body trembling, its spirit broken. It knows what is coming, and there is no way to stop it. The sense of impending doom is palpable, a heavy weight that presses down on everything. We are in Thailand, a nation known for its beauty and tranquility. The landscapes are breathtaking, the temples serene, the beaches a paradise. It is a place that seems to promise peace and harmony, a place where one can find solace and respite from the troubles of the world. But beneath the surface, a dark secret festers: the dog meat trade. It is a world hidden from view, a world where cruelty and suffering are the norm. The cages are filthy, the markets a place of horror, the alleyways a labyrinth of despair. It is a world that exists in the shadows, away from the eyes of the unsuspecting. For years, rumors have circulated of a hidden world where man's best friend becomes a commodity, traded and slaughtered for profit. These rumors have been whispered in hushed tones, spoken of in secret, a dark undercurrent that runs through the fabric of society. The transactions are clandestine. The transport of the dogs a grim procession of misery. These are not just rumors. They are whispers of a horrifying truth, a truth we are here to expose. The whispers speak of a reality that is almost too terrible to comprehend, a reality that is hidden in plain sight. The distress of the dogs is evident, their suffering a silent scream that echoes through the night. Join us now as we journey into the heart of this cruel industry, shining a light on the darkness and fighting for those who cannot fight for themselves. The journey is not an easy one, but it is a necessary one. The journalists and activists are determined, their resolve unshakable. They are the voice for the voiceless, the champions of the helpless. The dogs here are not numbers, they are individuals, each with a story to tell, a life worth living. Their faces are a testament to their resilience, their capacity for love and joy. They play, they seek affection. They are beings of light in a world of darkness. But in the dog meat trade, they are stripped of their dignity, their very essence, reduced to nothing more than meat on a hook. The slaughterhouses are places of horror, the chains a symbol of their captivity. Their fear is a tangible thing, a presence that hangs heavy in the air. We will not let their stories be silenced. The scale of the dog meat trade in Thailand is staggering. Thousands upon thousands of dogs are snatched from the streets, stolen from loving homes, or bred in horrific conditions. Their destination slaughterhouses and markets where they will be brutally killed and sold for their meat. The methods used are barbaric, designed to inflict maximum pain and suffering. These are not isolated incidents. This is a multi-million-dollar industry fueled by greed and operating with chilling efficiency. Traders operate in the shadows, using clandestine routes and methods to avoid detection, but we are on their trail, determined to expose their cruelty and bring them to justice. Behind every statistic, every number, lies a story of loss and heartache. These aren't just figures on a page, they represent real lives, real families and real pain. Each number is a living, breathing creature full of love and loyalty, suddenly torn from the life they knew. Take Meko, for example. Meko was more than just a pet. He was a beloved member of his family, a loyal companion who brought joy and comfort to their lives. But one fateful day, Meko was snatched from his family's yard. His family searched frantically, calling his name, putting up posters and scouring the neighborhood. With each passing day, their hearts broke a little more, the hope of finding Meko dwindling with every sunset. The empty doghouse in the yard and the lonely collar on the ground were constant reminders of their loss. They would never see Meko again. Meko had become another victim of the cruel and inhumane dog meat trade, a fate that no pet should ever endure. Sadly, Meko's story is not unique. It is a tragic tale repeated countless times across Thailand and other parts of the world. Families are torn apart, lives are shattered. The pain of losing a pet in such a horrific manner is something that stays with you forever. Imagine the terror of being ripped from your home, the only place you have ever known where you felt safe and loved. One moment you are in familiar surroundings and the next, you are being dragged away by strangers, your heart pounding with fear and confusion. Thrown into a cramped cage barely large enough to turn around in, you are surrounded by other terrified dogs, all of you crammed together with no room to breathe. And then the journey begins. Driven for days on end, the stench of fear and death heavy in the air, you're jostled and shaken as the truck rumbles on. This is the reality for countless dogs caught in the web of the dog meat trade, a cruel and heartless industry that sees these innocent animals as nothing more than commodities. Many die during these horrific journeys, succumbing to dehydration, their bodies unable to cope with the lack of water. Others starve, their frail bodies wasting away as they are denied even the most basic sustenance. Injuries are common, with dogs suffering from broken bones, open wounds and infections. The conditions at the slaughterhouses are beyond comprehension, a nightmare of filth and neglect. Dogs are kept in cramped, filthy cages, their fur matted with dirt and excrement. The cages are so small that the dogs can barely move, let alone lie down comfortably. Often without food or water, they are left to suffer in silence, their cries for help going unanswered. The air is thick with the stench of feces and urine, a nauseating odor that permeates everything. The ground is covered in waste, and the dogs are forced to lie in their own filth. The silence is broken only by the whimpers of the terrified animals, their eyes wide with fear and desperation. They huddle together for comfort, but there is no escape from the horror that surrounds them. This is not just inhumane, it is torture. The suffering these dogs endure is unimaginable, a testament to the cruelty of the dog meat trade. It is a stark reminder of the need for change, for compassion, and for a world where no animal has to endure such pain and suffering. The dog meat trade is not just a local problem, it is an international criminal enterprise with tentacles reaching far and wide. Evidence suggests that some of the meat is even smuggled across borders, ending up on plates in other countries. This is a global issue that demands a global response. The trade is driven by demand, by people who believe that dog meat has medicinal properties or who simply see it as a cheap source of protein. This ignorance is fueling the trade, perpetuating the cycle of cruelty. Awareness of the dog meat trade is growing, and with it, the outrage. People from all walks of life are joining the fight, demanding an end to this cruelty. Governments are beginning to take notice, enacting stricter laws and increasing enforcement. But there is still much work to be done. We need to keep the pressure on to ensure that the laws are enforced and that the traders are brought to justice. We need to support the organizations working on the ground, providing them with the resources they need to continue their life-saving work. This is where you come in. You can make a difference. You can be a voice for the voiceless. Spread the word. Share this story. Educate others about the horrors of the dog meat trade. Together, we can make a difference. Together, we can end the dog meat trade. Together, we can create a world where all dogs are treated with the respect and compassion they deserve. The time for action is now.